for the Band of Brothers. So excited to have you back. How are you, gentlemen? Surrounded by some of the baddest brothers in the land, some of my favorite musicians. How are you doing over there, Eric Boots Green? Hiding behind the plexiglass. Hey, Kep, how are you?
What's up, Angela? I'm good. How are you doing?
Hey, Irv. Clay on guitar, Kep on bass. All right, I got that right. What are you gentlemen looking forward to?
You're not wrong if you call either one.
What you say?
They're both guitars.
Yeah, it's a bass guitar.
Okay.
That's like guitar.
You can't be wrong.
All right, I know I play air guitar,
There you go.
right? I know. So what are y'all looking forward to this coming Thanksgiving? Kep, how about you?
Me, this Thanksgiving is my girlfriend's mother's 50th birthday.
Okay.
So looking forward to a lot of, big celebration with that.
Nice,
And,
nice.
I'm the local resident vegan. So I'm looking forward to all the tofu.
Can vegans have the perfect Thanksgiving? I don't know. Is that possible?
Yes, you can. I'll talk to you about it if you want.
I remember my daughter one year tried to usher in a vegan Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And there was quite the insurrection on her hand. We rebelled. How about you, Irv?
It's all about the yams.
All about the yams.
You can't have things.
It is. And because of an amazing partnership that we have with the Food Bank of South Jersey and a local New Jersey farm, we actually gave away a whole lot of yams. So people can have the perfect Thanksgiving, but it would not be the perfect Thanksgiving if we did not have you at our virtual dinner table, as well as some amazing chefs who have been doing this with us for 10 years now. Luke Pierre up in Sudbury, Massachusetts now. And locally we have Chef Tim Witcher and Jersey Gonzalez that are going to be ushering in the perfect Thanksgiving for us this year, VERZUZ edition. Who stayed up to watch VERZUZ on Thursday night? I went to sleep. I missed Shaka Khan battle Stephanie Mills. I love Shaka Khan, but I've definitely watched some other VERZUZ. And this is our version of VERZUZ. I hope they don't come for us for using that. But so excited to have the chefs. They're going to show off some of their recipes from some of our favorite dishes that they prepared for us at the Perfect Thanksgiving. But before I bring out some special guests who stopped by to have dinner with me this Perfect Thanksgiving, I want to make sure that we all know a little history about the Perfect Thanksgiving. For us, it's not perfect if we don't have the opportunity to gather with our friends, our neighbors, as well as our family, a community that all of us embrace as family when together we commit to make this world a better place as an extension of the vision and mission of Loving Our Cities, which is to enhance the quality of life where we live, where we work, where we serve, where we worship. That's all of our responsibilities. And so it's such an honor for us to come alongside our neighbors to address issues that are compromising the quality of life where we live, work, serve, and worship. And some of those issues, food insecurity. And so really grateful for a robust partnership that we've had for 10 years with the Food Bank of South Jersey that's opened the door for us to have 5 pantries serving people all year round, thousands of people annually who've come to us in need of food. But we recognize the value of relationship. And so while we might serve them food, we love to have the privilege of sitting down and getting to know our neighbors. And so that is the inspiration behind the Perfect Thanksgiving, for us not to just give the families that we serve in our communities food. It's our desire to sit down and get to know them so that we can see one another as neighbors. And don't we need that, right? The pandemic has revealed to us that there's far too many things that divide us. Come to our table. Sit down with us, have a meal with us. Let's talk. Let's get to know one another. Let's lean into one another, even when we disagree. Let's look into one another's eyes and see our shared humanity. And that is the inspiration for the Perfect Thanksgiving for us. It would mean nothing to us if we just gave you food and did not get the opportunity to get to know you. And so today is our opportunity to get to know you. And so while we're still virtual, we want to do that. So connect with us. Talk back online. Use that hashtag TPC gives thanks. Tell us what you're thankful for right now. I think the fact that we're here in and of itself gives us reason to be grateful, but also we have some amazing guests that are going to share with us what they are most thankful for, what makes the perfect Thanksgiving for them, but also what makes the perfect world. How can together we make this world a better place? Supplement it with some music, right? So for those of you who have come to the Perfect Thanksgiving in person, and hopefully we'll be back next year, you know we're going to line dance. You know we're going to have a live band, right? And so we're going to listen to a little music, but also we're going to engage with the chefs, and then we're going to invite our special guests up so that they can get in the hot seat. And we'll serve them up. They'll share with us what makes the perfect Thanksgiving. But right now, get ready to enjoy yourself. Give it up. Ready to enjoy yourself? I want to invite our first guest up, and that is the best CEO, can I say that, in South Jersey? The president and CEO of the Food Bank of South Jersey, Fred Wozniak. Give him a round of applause wherever you are, in person, online. Such an honor to have you.
That's
So good to have a hug, right? Have a hug. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate the invitation to the Perfect Thanksgiving.
Thank you for joining us at our virtual dinner table. And so I already hinted to the fact that the Food Bank of South Jersey has been an incredible partner to us for a decade now. Yes. And this past year especially, we've gotten to know you a little better as we were moved up, at least from our vantage point, to the front lines in the fight against hunger, where a pandemic for us tripled the number of people that we served. But because of a partnership that we have with you, not only were we able to have 5 pantries, we also were able to open up a hub where we were able to warehouse food and even get a grant in partnership with you and the New Jersey Pandemic Relief Fund. So grateful. I have a lot to be thankful for because I had your partnership, but you've been serving on the front line. You've been doing a lot in service of South Jersey families. So tell us a little bit about what the Food Bank of South Jersey has been up to.
Well, we are so thankful for your willingness to partner. You know, all the help in food insecure world all starts with passion and a vision. And I remember a couple of years ago, we had a conversation, and you and Pastor had a vision, and it came to fruition. And so, you know, that whole sense of belonging that you spoke about, you know, I think about what we do, what we're called, because we can't do it alone as a single entity of a food bank. We need the families out there, our family our partners. In that sense of belonging, we have so much to achieve, and it's all about the relationships that you spoke about. So I look at that as raising the bar belonging, achievement, relationships. And you're helping us do that. You know, we were in a food insecure pandemic even before March 12th of COVID.
Yeah.
And what COVID has done, it's opened the eyes of America that hunger is real in our country. And to serve those in need, especially during these festive times. So the food bank, we're actually going to have more turkeys distributed this year than last year. So last year we hit almost 18,000. We're
Oh
going to
my
have
goodness.
over 20,000 turkeys distributed, and through the network of our partnerships like you. So we're halfway there, believe it or not. The challenges of the supply chain, but by Wednesday we will have 10,000 more turkeys out to 10,000 more families, so
Wow.
everyone can enjoy what we're blessed with a perfect Thanksgiving.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your service. How can people help the Food Bank of South Jersey?
Is to reach out. If you're blessed to help, be able to help, it's the foodbanksj.org, and on our website there's user-friendly links to go to. But also, if you're in need, there's the Food Finder. And we have 200 plus pantries in the 4 counties that we serve. You just need to plug in your zip code, and it'll take you to a pantry within your neighborhood to serve. So we do not want anyone to go to bed hungry, and we do not want anyone not to have a grateful Thanksgiving of hope, of family tradition, and so on. So thank you for
Absolutely.
asking, and thank you for
And
having
that
me
would
here.
not just be the perfect Thanksgiving, ensuring that everybody has access to food. That would be the perfect world.
Perfect
And
world.
so the 4 counties that you serve, Burlington, Camden, Gloucester, Salem
Yes.
County, correct?
Very.
What are the root causes that most stand in the way of people's ability to get access to healthy food?
Yeah, there's many root causes. I think part of the perception out there is that there's not one face to hunger. And the 58 different communities that we serve are diverse communities. You go in one community, you go into one community. And the root causes of lack of employment opportunities, lack of education, health equity. And so when these determinants are in communities, it really prevents individuals for, one, finding or the ability to find the healthy, nutritious food that they need to sustain a healthy, nutritious, confident lifestyle. So the food bank, it's not just about delivering the food, it's also providing a sense of hope for all of those that we're looking to serve on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, it's an honor to partner with you.
Our
Loving our
pleasure.
cities to enhance the quality of life where we live, work, serve, and worship. Certainly core
Yep.
to quality of life is having access to healthy food options. And so we're grateful for the partnership. And I can't imagine living in the Garden State. The Garden State, a haunting nickname these days, hovering over us to remind us that we should be ensuring people have access to fresh, healthy groceries grown out of the ground.
Amazing, especially here in South Jersey. where
Absolutely.
Most of the farms.
Yeah,
You know, there's 21 food deserts in the 4 counties that we serve.
right.
In the urban area, that means 500 people do not have access to healthy, nutritious, continuous food within 1 mile. The city of Camden, there's food deserts. They have to go outside a mile, all the way to Salem City. So we serve from urban to suburban to rural. In rural food deserts, 500 people do not have access to healthy food within 10 miles. From center city of Salem, 13 miles is the closest grocery store.
Wow.
And then transportation in
Right,
both areas. So there's a lot of work for us to do. And it's not just about getting the food, so how do we help those to be empowered, to have that voice, to help
I
along
love
the
it.
way. So
I love it. Well, grateful that one way that we're empowering people is to bring a hub to Gloucester County so that those food pantries that are partnered with you don't have to go all the way to Pennsauken, or more importantly, because you've been doing this, your drivers don't have to go all the way to those pantries. And so I don't know if we have that video queued up, but I would love to show some footage of the hub
Oh my God.
that we now have and are able to operate so that pantries that you provide food to can now come here and pick up, in addition to receiving it directly via delivery, but also going up to Pensacola.
And that's the strength of partnership.
Yeah.
So how can we be more efficient?
Yeah.
And those resources saved can come back into resources to serve
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, especially with the disruptions in the supply chain. Yeah.
Well, you've been a wonderful partner.
Thank you,
and
Fred.
Pastor Kevin. And
You've
we're
been a good partner,
We're
too.
grateful. And we remain grateful. And I look forward to the work. It's someday our work together will shorten the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my husband often says, Pastor Kevin Brown, that would it make a difference if the doors of the church were to close? Would people ever know we were here? And I hope that the answer for us will be a resounding yes, because of our commitment to serve, our commitment to make a difference, for us not to just gather inside of a building, but for us to mobilize outside.
There's a
And
long-term
so,
ripple effect
yeah,
of the work
absolutely.
that you're doing.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
coming back. So when you're grateful, more comes to you. Be grateful for.
Yeah, yeah. So what's your Thanksgiving plans?
Oh, Thanksgiving plans. My wife and I are empty nesters, but we're blessed with a grandchild as of this past September. So our grandson Everett, and my daughter and her husband they're going to be in Portland for Thanksgiving with his family. But two of our older children, my son got married this June, so him and his wife will join us, and my daughter, who's in San Diego and finishing up graduate work, she is going to make the flight home. And so it's going to be a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we've created family tradition monsters. And even though they're all adults, when they come home, everything has to be as it was when they were growing up. How long can we wear pajamas on Thursday? The games are important. I have to do the Thanksgiving breakfast, and I can't change the ingredients in the scrambled eggs.
Wait, say that again?
Thank-
You do the Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving and Christmas breakfast is my thing. And
Okay.
then I'm in charge of cleanup of everything.
Okay.
So, but all of that, just laying around, laughing, remembering, napping,
Yeah.
enjoying around the food is so important, culturally and traditionally for family. Food is so important as part of that celebration.
Nice.
So we're looking to a nice, rewarding family get together.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
FaceTime
sharing.
shows.
I
Oh,
hope
thank
that
you
you
for
have the
asking.
perfect Thanksgiving.
We're blessed no matter what, every Thanksgiving is perfect.
Nice, nice. So you're going to hang out
Oh my God.
as we welcome our other guests. And is that video
Yes.
queued up? Are we going to be able to show as our next guest comes? Why don't we show a little bit of the work that we're doing with
All
the
right.
Food Bank of South Jersey?
Thank you very much.
And as the Instagram meme says, Fred, you're doing a good. Give it up again for the Band of Brothers. us start a love train. Thank you, Fred Wozniak, to the service of the Food Bank of South Jersey, all of our incredible partners there, so many friends that I would be remiss if I did not have the opportunity to name, especially Lavinia and Charlie. We spent a whole lot of time on the phone. It's such an honor to serve alongside you in the mission of the Food Bank of South Jersey. But we invite all of you to partner not just with Loving Our Cities, but partner with the Food Bank of South Jersey. Visit their website. If you know of a family in need, or if you are in need of food, visit their website and please consider making a donation, not just food, but financial resources, because they've been hit pretty hard and they've been serving on the front line. I can testify to that. I've seen them. And I've also can testify to this gentleman right here who has been serving relentlessly during a pandemic, continuing the work of the Perfecting Church, which I know has been incredibly difficult. It's already difficult for a pastor, right? You just celebrated your 10th anniversary pastoring the Perfecting Church.
It's a
but
huge
nearly the
milestone.
past 2 years, the past 2 years of it have been serving in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And so that's a first. Right?
A first.
I've never seen you serve through a pandemic. And so share a little bit about what life has been like serving families in the midst of a pandemic and what you are most grateful for coming out of that experience.
You know, it is so, first of all, thank you for having us here.
Absolutely.
And before I get ready to go into that difficult topic, I just want to thank you for hosting
course.
this. I want to thank you for hosting the Perfect Thanksgiving. And really what you're doing here is an example of the kind of resilience that we've had to demonstrate as a local church. We literally, on March 15th, roundabout, I remember that we had our final Sunday service.
Right.
And as we left, we kind of looked at each other, not sure if we'd be back that following Sunday. And it was all a way to another year later during Holy Week in March that we began to try to move back towards being physically in this space.
Right.
And literally every system, every process, every rhythm that we had as a community was totally dismantled, and we had to try to rebuild a sense of community and connection during the most difficult time that we've ever experienced as a church, operationally, but certainly as a church, as a family. So one of the early things that we did, even before we made the technology investments and the investment in the video wall and things that we did so that we could turn our sanctuary into a production studio, but before we did that, one of the things that we did was so impactful was we just made a call tree and called every single member of the church.
Yeah.
And those that had even just visited, we touched everyone.
Right.
And it's amazing, even what you're doing today, how powerful human contact is.
Yeah.
And we found that, and quite frankly, with everything that we did that was sophisticated being brought to its knees, it was the simple things that were the most life-giving things that we did. And the other thing that I did was I just began to find relationships with other pastors. It was right around that time that I began meeting with a group of pastors with much more intention. And now that group is about 20 pastors. We've continued to meet Sunday after Sunday, getting together for prayer, getting together to check in on one another, and getting together to advise one another and share best practices that seem to be working well in our communities. We're fortunate that we've got small groups here at the Perfecting Church. We don't have cell groups as an afterthought. Cell groups have been the foundation of our church. So with those 18 cell groups within the church that on average have 15 to 20 people meeting each week there, it gave us a lifeline to still keep some sense of community. And we use a whole lot of words now we never used before: Zoom, online gatherings, hybrid gatherings. I mean, we have a whole new vocabulary, whole new systems, whole new technology investments that we've made.
Yeah, and from that perspective, it's been much more demanding.
Yeah.
Because not only did we want to maintain connections, right, those human contacts, we wanted to make sure that people that were not safe coming out, gathering in person, still were able to connect to community and, most importantly, to God, to the Word of God.
Yeah.
And so there's a host of pastors that have been leaving, right?
Yes.
The church. They have been tapped out,
Yeah.
right? Struggling with mental illness, caring for what we have seen has been a dramatic rise, not just in food insecurity, right? But instability mentally and
Yes,
emotionally.
yes.
People have really been struggling. So in what way do you see a need for the church to be a resource to address that challenge now
Yeah.
that perhaps this pandemic, as we know it, is coming to an end? It's unearthed a host of other pandemics.
You know,
like
one of the
mental
things
illness.
that was very popular in the 80s and 90s, and the overflow of that was continuing right up into the pandemic, was this idea that pastors were CEOs. Fred's the CEO. I'm not. But so many pastors were behaving as though we were CEOs, as though we were running companies. And I think one of the things that happened during the pandemic was remind us that we are not CEOs.
Right.
If we're looking to make a comparison to anything, we're fathers.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to serve in a way that we are serving the family of God. And what many churches did was they realized that they needed to get back to that kind of ethos as a community where we were taking significant responsibility for one another. And the part that you bring out emotionally is a huge one. People were in isolation. All of their rhythms for how they normally connected were broken. People, even when they were getting sick, were isolated while they were sick. So it was a unique time and continues to be. I don't even want to talk about the pandemic as though it's something in the past.
Right.
It continues to be a very unique time. But I think when pastorally we think like fathers, it puts us in the right position and posture.
Yeah.
It puts us in the right heart position. I think when you think like CEOs, you might think that there are things you can't do. Fathers find a way. And, you know, when Fred talks about his whole family coming home for Thanksgiving, and they're looking for some of the old habits that made the Wozniaks who they were to happen again, it's very, very similar for the Perfecting Church, that people are looking for us to find a way to restore some of the connections, some of the being there for one another. I mean, just this past week, one of our drummers, Andre Johnson, his father passed away. We had a funeral there, and the funeral was Zoomed. And there were people in person. That's nothing that pastors were ever accustomed to. And they were referring to the Zoom while they're referring to the people that were in the room. And there are those kinds of things that we need to do to be able to heighten human connection and deepen connection.
Yeah. And so what are you looking forward to this Thanksgiving? In what way will, if I don't cook, outside of me cooking?
We can't talk about
Outside of
that.
me cooking.
I'm hoping that
What
one of
makes the
those
perfect
20,000
Thanksgiving for you?
turkeys
I don't
that
wanna
Fred
cook
gave away, that one of them finds its way to our doorstep. And Angela Brown, no. This woman, she loves Shaka Khan because she is every woman.
Oh my God.
And so
this is called flattery.
to be honest, what I'm looking forward to is being able to unplug and maybe having a day and a half where I don't get any text messages.
too.
And a day and a half where I don't get any. That doesn't sound very fatherly, but you asked me what I was looking forward to. And quite frankly, if I could get some chicken parm, as crazy as that sounds, that would make me really happy on Thanksgiving.
I might be able to handle that. I might be able to handle
Right,
that.
right.
Yes.
Hey,
But knowing you, you're going to want it with a side of collard greens.
I think so.
So tell us, what makes the perfect Thanksgiving for you? Share your thoughts, your comments. What is it that you're most looking forward to in celebrating this Thanksgiving? But also, what would make the world perfect in your eyes? I loved your comments about pastors not being CEOs.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like Fred, he's a CEO, much like a pastor, I think,
I would
who
agree.
embraces the philosophy that whatever role you are in, when you are a leader, you are there as a public servant. You're
So
there to
good.
serve. And so thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin, for your
was a
inspiring
pleasure.
words. Speaking of service, we want to see what our chefs have been cooking up to serve up to us. So why don't we go to those chefs in Massachusetts? Luke Pierre up in Sudbury, Massachusetts, the founder of Pierre Caterers and actually the visionary of the Perfect Thanksgiving. It was he who came to us saying, I love to cook, I love to cater. It's my dream to serve up the perfect Thanksgiving for those that perhaps have never had a 5-star dining experience. And so we said, yes, bring it, what you got? And it turned into a perfect Thanksgiving. So hello, Luke Pierre. Look at his kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, he is a professional. Looking like you're on Good Morning America. I think they need to come and get you. What are you serving up for us this year?
Turn the volume up. All right, so as you guys know, Thanksgiving is a very special moment for me, especially being able to do it with TBC. And the Perfect Thanksgiving has been one of the best events for me in any event I've done. Outside of catering and do all the events that I've done, this is my favorite. So in terms of food, you guys know I always like to do something different every year. I've done the Big Bird, stuff it. I've done the chicken breast, roulade. We've done. So today I'm going to do a little different than what I normally do. So we're going to do a winter harvest. So I'm going to do a gourmet soup and salad. So we're going to use, of course, we're going to use all the ingredients that we normally use for Thanksgiving and incorporate them into a nice, healthy, hearty dish. So to start, I'm making a roasted turkey. It's like a harvest roasted turkey with white bean soup. Incredible flavors. And I'm gonna pair that with a nice gourmet salad. We have a kale and spinach salad that's gonna be topped with feta cheese, a roasted butternut squash. So I actually have all the winter squashes that I've roasted that's gonna incorporate into the salad. And we'll be making a winter squash honey citrus vinaigrette to go along with that. Amazing dish. So I'll let the other guys talk, and if you guys want me to start cooking, I'll start. So I'm not sure exactly, Angela, how you want me to flow. Right now, you're going to introduce the other guys, or let me know how you want me to flow. But that's what I have for you guys today. Nice.
We just want you to introduce, just introduce what you're cooking and what you're dreaming about up there. And we're gonna bring Chef Tim up here and see what he's got. So I know you guys don't battle. You serve alongside one another and you're usually in the kitchen together. But why don't we go to Chef Tim, who's actually live here in our kitchen with Jersey Gonzalez. And so Jersey's going to bring the sweet for us, as she always does. But usually Chef Tim and Chef Luke are serving alongside one another to determine what we're going to eat. And then Jersey brings the sweet. She brings the dessert. And so what we have this year, Tim and Jersey, what you cooking up?
All right, so first of all, it's been an honor to serve next to the Chef Luke. He's an amazing chef. I love him. But we battling today, Chef, so you better be ready. We battling, bro.
Hey, with love, man. Always with love.
All with love. All right, so what I want to do, instead of just doing a Thanksgiving dish, I want to show how to use some leftovers and make it incredible again for another day. Now, that being said, do not eat your leftovers more than 7 days after that. Don't be trying to make them turkey and sweet potato plates on day 8, day 9, all right? 7 days is the limit. But when you get sick of just making your regular plates and your sandwiches, I'm gonna have you something that's really wonderful. So we're gonna do a Thanksgiving street taco. So I'm taking a couple of different cultures and mixing them together because this dish is gonna be diverse and not divided. Yeah, take that, Luke.
All right, man.
So we can tell you are absolutely one of us. You are one of us. You are a TPCer, vested in the work of racial reconciliation. I love it. Let's go by bringing churches together. I bet you that's going to be on the menu at the Wing Kitchen in the future, huh?
Hey, listen, it could be. It could be a Taco Tuesday after the holiday special.
Yeah, I love it. How about you, Jersey?
So I always make a flambe or some pie. And this year I wanted to do a little bit different. So instead of doing like your basic cherries jubilee or your bananas foster, we're gonna do apples. We're gonna call it an apple flambe. I'm not really sure what to call it because I just had apples and I was like, hey, let's go ahead and make something with these apples. So that's what we're gonna do. Is it's kind of like an apple pie a la mode without the crust. We're going to serve it right on top of ice cream, but we're also going to make it in a bourbon sauce. You know, we always have to add that deliciousness of the alcohol, of the bourbon.
All right, let's see what we got.
So are we going to start cooking now?
Go ahead, do your thing.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is What was that?
Light it up.
All right. So first thing we're going to do is let's check out our mise en place here. We have some butter, brown sugar, vanilla extract. We have some ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, fresh nutmeg. We have lime juice or lemon juice, and then we have our apples. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and melt our butter. You can use regular butter. You can use ghee. I like to use regular butter. You know, the foamy stuff that gets on top of the your pan when your butter melts. That's delicious milk solids. I actually want that in there. Let's go ahead and add our apples. I have about 4 apples. You can have a variety of apples. It really does not matter. Make sure we have our heat on medium heat. All right. While we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and add our spices here. We have our cinnamon. We have our ginger. We have our vanilla extract, 4 vanilla beans. And then we have our fresh nutmeg. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. Ooh, it smells so good.
I will be walking over there shortly.
Smells delicious. So I decided to make this dish because I'm not really a fan of pies. I don't really like pie crust,
Okay.
but I love the feeling of apple pie. So whenever I eat apple pie, I literally just eat the filling. I never eat the crust.
And I'm the opposite. I eat the crust.
Get some of that fresh nutmeg in
Jersey,
there.
how are you not going to be a fan of pie and you're a dessert chef? I'm concerned here.
So I do like pie. So I'm not a fan of pie crust. So whenever I make my apple pies, my pumpkin pies, I actually use graham cracker or like Oreo crust instead of pie crust. Does that sound weird?
Not at all.
I might need some of that with like some Miller wafer. You make a Miller wafer crust?
Okay,
Yes,
you're redeeming
listen,
yourself.
I have.
You're redeeming yourself.
It's just a pie crust. I mean, I don't know. But I'll eat a pecan pie.
Oh my gosh,
With
that's
regular
my
pie
absolute
crust.
favorite. But no one else in my family likes pecans, so I end up eating it all by myself. Dangerous, dangerous. All right, so you do your thing, heating things up over there. Can we check in on Chef Luke? Let's go back to Chef Luke. All right, what we're doing?
We're gonna work on the turkey right now. So the process I'm doing right now, everything that I'm doing right now for the soup, most of the ingredients we're gonna replicate with the salad. So the turkey, I'm gonna season the turkey. I'm gonna grill it, then I put it in the oven so that it gets nice and tender and juicy and crispy on the outside. So I'm gonna season that, and then so I already have my winter squashes roasted already. So that takes a long time. I know we're tight for time here, so I roasted them with a little butter, brown sugar, a little cinnamon, nutmeg, and to put them in the oven at 400 degrees. And that took about a half hour, about 35 minutes or so. You see some nice char marks on there, really nice and sweet, and all the flavors kind of pull out of that. We have some carrots. So the base for our soup, of course, is our meal fry, which is a French term. That means it's carrots, onions, and celery. So we start with that. So I'm gonna saute them in my pot, incorporate some spices. So I have here onion powder, garlic powder. I have some cayenne pepper, which I'll be seasoning the turkey with, and some paprika, and some Old Bay seasoning as well.
Old
So
Bay,
I'm gonna season
okay.
the turkey, which we'll start with that. So I have cayenne pepper on there because I like a little heat on my food. So you don't necessarily have to use that if you don't like spicy food. My family loves spicy food, so I try to incorporate some of that in there. So we want to make sure season both sides. Of course.
There's no garlic over there, though, is it, Luke?
Garlic
Is
makes
that garlic
everything
over
better.
there, Luke?
Oh yeah, you gotta have garlic. So
Thank you.
garlic,
Will you
I
please
don't put the
tell-
garlic in early before I grill it, because then I don't want it to burn and you don't get that bitter taste.
You have
So
defiled the
later
perfect
on,
Thanksgiving.
as I
You've defiled it.
I incorporate the garlic on afterwards.
Garlic makes everything better. He doesn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
he eats garlic. He doesn't
Gotta have
know. I
garlic.
put garlic
Gotta
in
have garlic.
everything.
Pastor Kevin, I understand what you're saying.
All right, so my thing is seasoned here. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just enough to coat it. I don't want to drown it in oil because I don't want to have any flame when I put it on the grill. Just turn that up some more. And it's just gonna get a nice grill mark on there so that you get a nice texture. You get the grill mark, the char mark, changes the flavor versus just straight putting it in the oven. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to the stove to get a nice grill mark on here, and then we're gonna move on because I already have a set grilled already. I just want to show you the process of doing that. So I'm gonna have my camera lady come closer so we can get this going right over here.
Okay, so who's the camera lady?
So I have Gabby behind the camera with me.
Hi,
today.
Gabby.
Hi.
All right, so
Gabby is his
here I
daughter
have
for
my
all who are
turkey
watching.
Mexican season. And that's what you want to do.
Gabby is the Emmy Award-winning producer here.
It's not ready yet, so you're not going to get grill marks. All right, Gabby, you want to put down. So this, once you put it on, just let it sit there. Probably a good 2 minutes to get a nice grill mark. Don't try to pick it up too early. Then you're gonna lose the grill mark. So I'm gonna let that go, and then I'm gonna move on to the next item for perhaps the soup. So
All right, well, while you're moving on, let's bring Chef Tim up. I want to make sure I give him some special time.
Yeah,
Last year we had some technical difficulties.
I know we're not starting to roll, so let's keep it going.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
keep doing your thing,
So,
Luke. But we're gonna check in on Tim. I
Hold on,
can't
you gotta
wait
look
for
at
us to be
Dirk
back
real
in
quick. The silver
person.
on fire. See that? The flames. All right, so again, we're doing leftovers. All right, so I'm taking my favorite part is the dark meat. So I got some of the dark meat turkey.
Okay.
Now, I had the opportunity to work with two wonderful Mexican chefs for about 8 years from Puebla, Mexico. And they shared a bunch of good stuff with me and some techniques. And I have some extended Puerto Rican family. So I'm gonna mix some cultures together today. All right, so I got my turkey. I'm going Mama's cast iron pan over here. And then I made some stock out of the bones. So I took the roasted turkey bones and Mom just make the soup out of it. So I got that in some liquid, some onions, some cumin, some coriander. That's gonna go on top of my turkey. That's just gonna simmer up all lovely and nice. Oh man. Look very ready. All right, so this is gonna simmer up. I'm gonna move this right here for a second. Now, before you cook all your collard greens off, I know everybody put all the collard greens in there. You got like 8 pounds of them. And you left with like a tablespoon of collard greens left. But if you just save a little bit of collard greens, like this amount, we're gonna make a collard green salsa verde.
Ooh.
All right, so we're gonna take some raw collard greens. I know Pastor Kevin like, what? You can't eat a raw collard green. All right, but you can though. All right, so some raw collard greens, some lime, some olive oil, some onion, no garlic.
Talking my culinary love language right now. I'm loving this.
Now, to make these street tacos, besides the turkey, we got some leftover mac and cheese. Now, I know if you use my recipe for mac and cheese, you may not have leftovers, but save a little bit. We got some cheddar cheese, and then we're gonna make a sweet potato crema. So we got some of our leftover sweet potato that I pureed up.
Wow.
That's gonna go in. Some of my special seasoning that we call Love Mix. This makes the world taste good. So sprinkle, get the sprinkle up high. And then we're gonna take some sour cream. Pastor Kevin, just stay with me. All right, I can feel your spirit right now. Like, nope, I ain't eating that. All right, so we got the, can y'all see that right there?
Yes, yes.
We got our little sweet potato crema. And then we're gonna be building our tacos. So we're gonna have some radish, some onions, some jalapeno. We have our collard green salsa verde, which looks like this right here. Beautiful and bright. Remember the cilantro, the lime, the collard greens, the jalapeno, the onion. It's not spicy though, just enough for the flavor. Olive oil and some vinegar. Then come back to me in a few minutes. I'm gonna show you these tacos.
All right. So Luke, we'll go back to you, checking in to see how your turkey breasts are making out.
He got you pulling out new equipment, Luke. He's coming for you today.
Right.
He is coming for you. I'm telling you. Pull out something else.
Okay, he looks like he's getting ready to do some blending. Okay. Chopping up some onion. I can't hear Luke.
We have the
Oh, there we go.
fried vinaigrette. So I'm dusting some of my roasted winter squash, that I roasted earlier. Put a little bit in here. We got some apple cider vinegar. Add a little brown sugar. A little
Right.
Dijon mustard. So the mustard adds a nice little tart flavor, kind of balance out the sweetness.
Okay.
And you can't go on with Dijon mustard.
Dijon
Add a
and
little bit
apple
of
cider
flour.
vinegar. Okay.
The chopped shallot. All right. Now I'm just gonna run it through the processor. Actually, add a little black pepper. Now, one key thing I don't want to forget is you want to add some honey. There we go. I want it to sweet. And then I'm gonna balance it out with, you get a clean knife. Add some citrus, just a little lemon juice to add a little tart to it.
I think
you
Irv
have
is a
the sweetness
foodie
of
over
the
here.
honey.
Yeah.
That's sweet already. And the mustard and the lime, the lemon kind of balance it out for you. The main thing to go on any salad, any salad, just run it through the processor. That's about it. Now you can taste, make sure if it's missing something, you add a little bit more, but I'm pretty confident. Just right. You have the sweetness from the honey, the lime, and the mustard. Kind of really balance it really well. So that's my dressing for the salad.
Nice.
I'm gonna take my turkey off. I'm gonna switch to somebody else, and I'm gonna show you guys quickly how we pull up the soup together.
All right. As you're plating that up, you want us to go back to Jersey and check in on her dessert?
Good.
I'm not.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going to have a DoorDash come and pick that up from you, Luke. If you hear that knock on the door, that's my DoorDash coming to bring that back from Boston.
I'm hoping that we get to
You guys
visit
can
you
see-
for Thanksgiving. All right. We're
I'm not sure you guys
going
can
to
see
check
my,
back in with Tim in Jersey. Can we go back to Tim in Jersey?
Yeah, so I have my griddle right here, and I got my taco shells on here. My turkey has heated up real nice.
Okay,
Wow.
So on the taco shells, I got the cheddar cheese, some leftover mac and cheese. I'm putting my dark meat turkey that I
This
simmered
is
in that
truly a
beautiful liquid.
versus battle here,
It is.
Tim. This is, I'm not sure which way to go.
It sucks. You guys should really smell the essence. It smells so good in here.
And again,
So-
Jersey and Tim are coming to us live from our local cafe. So we get to walk over there and sample this. And
That's right.
Chef, you
I'm
It
looking
looks
forward
like
to
it's neck and neck. We might have to do a pop locking contest to see who wins.
Yo, listen, I got a strong pop locking game, so almost. So listen, if you want to go back to Jersey real quick, then I'm gonna finish these tacos up.
So once you're done, this is what your sauce should look like. If you go ahead and have nice, delicious, creamy sauce. Your apples are nice and soft. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your plate of ice cream and you're just going to put it right on top.
Ooh.
And then drizzle some of this delicious sauce.
Oh my goodness.
And then bon appetit.
I thought on these shows the guests always ended up eating this stuff. Is that part coming up?
Absolutely. That's coming up. It's coming up.
All yours right here.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So
Well done.
I think we will make our way back
Can you
there.
taste this, look? Can you taste that thing right there?
Oh.
You see the drip game?
All right, guys.
So did you put the collard green sauce on there yet? What was it again?
No, that's about to come on right now. I'm gonna do some collard green sauce.
Was it collard green verde? What did you call it?
Yeah, verde means green anyway, so I guess it's like collard verde.
Okay, collard salsa. Collard salsa
There you
verde.
go, that's fine. I'm telling you, Pastor, stay with me, Pastor. I'm telling you.
I can't wait to try. A little bit of trivia. We gave out collard greens today as well in the to-go bags to the families that usually would be with us in person. We gave them the option to either pick up or for us to deliver to-go bags. So they got turkey, like Luke is preparing. They got collard greens. They got yams and a host of other stuff, but we did not give them apples. So hopefully you'll be able to get some apples so that you can replicate Jersey's
Well, don't worry,
recipe.
listen, because mine's got turkey, yams, and collard greens, so.
You got it. Gave us plenty to work with.
I'm not sure if squash in that basket, but.
And this cafe doubles as our pantry, and we were able to make these renovations that you see Jersey and Tim enjoying because of a grant that we got in partnership with the Food Bank of South Jersey. So it all comes together. Luke, we'll come back to you and close out. Let's see what you're serving up.
Sorry, so we're gonna serve up our salad right now. So what I have here, I have some fresh organic
It
spinach.
looks beautiful
and
already.
Kale. So we're gonna do a mixed kale and spinach, nice and fresh.
Okay.
Now mix the two together. Just get it right in my bowl. Debbie, if you could zoom on here for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm gonna take the squash, the roasted winter squash. I'm gonna spread that right on top. Give it some beautiful color. So now what we need to do is incorporate some candied walnuts. Get that nice crunch in here, so you really kind of touch all the flavors. You touch flavors, texture, all the senses get really touched in this here with this. We have cranberries. Of course, I want to incorporate all the items that we use for Thanksgiving. So we have some dry cranberries, and we have some feta cheese. We're gonna add some feta cheese. Again, to kind of balance the flavors here. So now we have our turkey that I grilled earlier. Just gonna slice this.
This is the part where
All right.
What's a vegan alternative?
that looks really nice.
And last but not least, well, we have one more thing for you. So we have the nice vinaigrette. We're just gonna drizzle that right on. And then the last thing we're gonna do, I did some kale chips. So that I did earlier. So easy to do.
Kale chips.
Take the fresh kale, some seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder. I did some lemon zest, a little olive oil, put it in the oven at 325 degrees. And in about 30 minutes or so, you have nice, fresh kale chips.
I love kale chips. I make kale chips at home
so
all the
good,
time.
nice, easy to do as a snack. And you just
Kept re-engaged.
Right on top there. And there's your salad. So
Luke, I love your cooking, but you lost me on the kale chips. I have to be honest.
It's
I will do the
beautiful.
kale chip less version.
You have to try it, Pastor. All right, so this is our salad. My soup is already done since we're pressed for time. I won't go through the process of making it, so I'll show you guys exactly how I played it.
All right.
So I'll bring that over.
And this is something that you usually serve up at the Perfect Thanksgiving, right? This soup?
Oh yeah, I mean.
Yeah, this is a pretty popuar item every
that I
year.
grilled earlier, right? We have the turkey in here. As I make the soup, we have onions, the celery. I have the winter squashes that I incorporate in here, some bay leaves, some seasoning, some spices, scallions, and you let that come to a simmer where all the flavors kind of infuse in there, right? And then not only that, I add some rainbow Swiss chard. Yeah, if you could swing down here. I have some beautiful rainbow Swiss chard that I got from the market. incorporate some of that and some of the fresh kale. All these beautiful ingredients are incorporated into the soup. A nice, hearty soup. And of course, we have the white beans to kind of bring in some consistency in there as well. So here's our finished soup, right? Looks so good. And the turkey, I diced the turkey. The grilled turkey is diced right in here. I mean, you have that on Thanksgiving, and you have everything that you would normally have, right? A beautiful turkey soup, nice and hearty. I'll put that aside. Add some cheese right on here. Gotta have some cheese.
Is that Parmesan
and
cheese?
just gonna chop up a little scallions to put on there, just for some garnish.
What kind of cheese is that, Luke?
I have a mixture of Monterey Jack cheese, sharp cheddar, and American cheese.
A blend of
All right,
Monterey.
so that's
sharp.
that.
Okay.
Gonna clean that off. And so, right here as a garnish, you just put a little fresh thyme right on here. And there's our soup. Gabby, if you could give me a close up. There you go. Nice and
Beautiful.
hearty.
Very nice, very nice. All about the presentation.
I mean, the starch from you don't need to add anything to thicken it up. You have the starch from all the winter squashes that adds that beautiful color in there and gives it that beautiful consistency as well. So there you have it. We have our nice harvest salad with the grilled turkey and our white bean and turkey soup right here. This is what we have for today.
Beautiful. I love it. Bravo, bravo. Bravo. So those of you that are watching online, talk back, let us know. Who do you think won this edition of the Perfect Thanksgiving? No, I think in both instances, you showed how we can use different ingredients, mix it up, and serve up something great. And definitely, we all have experienced a time where perhaps we've had some good ingredients and some bad ones. But we can mix them up and, like the Bible says, cause all things work together for good. We can still serve up something good. And so, Jersey and Tim, why don't we go back to you? You want to show us your final presentation? Ooh!
Absolutely.
All right, Tim.
So you see these Thanksgiving
Order up,
tacos?
order up. That's ready. Ready for
That's
pickup.
right. We're ready to go. So we got
Beautiful.
the collard green verde on it, our sweet potato crimmer, some onion, a little radish, jalapeno, some cilantro, and then our braised dark meat turkey. Come on, you make a leftover like this?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Round of applause to all of our chefs. It's always such a joy to have you, Chef Tim, Chef Jersey,
Thank you
Chef
again.
Luke,
Thank you.
and to
Hey,
all
Angela.
of you. Yes, yes,
Angela.
yes. I'm listening. Yes,
Look
yes,
who we
yes.
have here that made a cameo appearance.
Oh, man. Look at little chef.
Now, this is the real deal right here.
Absolutely, I agree.
Hi. So
Is
she
that
had
Abigail?
a soccer tournament hour away. She just got home. She's about to go to lacrosse right now. So I figured I'd just bring her in real quick.
Wow, that's
Hey,
awesome.
Abigail. Abigail's going to take your place. Abigail Pierre is the future of the Perfect Thanksgiving. 2.0
Indeed.
version. Well, thank you, Lukeman. Thank you, Jersey. Thank you, Tim. You definitely want to check out the Wing Kitchen. Locally, if you are in the South Jersey area, we love some Wing Kitchen. And so thank you so much, Tim Witcher, for sharing your gifts with us. Thank you, Jersey and her company, I Cook For You. And so if you are looking for some catered food, you want to check out Jersey Gonzalez. She also is in the South Jersey area, serves a lot of celebrity clientele. And then Lukeman moved away. He's in Massachusetts, but he still is the owner and operator of Les Pierre Caterers, and so grateful that you shared this vision with us and come along with us every year for us to serve up the perfect Thanksgiving. But it would not be perfect if you, our friends, our neighbors, were not gathering with us. And so thank you. Thank you for being you, What an incredible privilege we've enjoyed getting to know you, serving with you. We can't wait to be back in person. So hopefully in 2022, we will be back in person, sitting down
I can't wait.
at
I
a
can't
table
wait.
with you. I'm looking forward to it. So save the date, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. We will be in person, sitting down, still giving the to-go bags as we always do, so that you can host your own perfect Thanksgiving for your family and friends. And so save the date. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Fred Wozniak. Thank you, Pastor Kevin Brown. And thank you to the Band of Brothers, the baddest band in the land, who's going to close us out. Thank you also to our partners, not just the Food Bank of South Jersey, but Camden Academy Charter School Network, Winslow Township School District, Worcester Towers Clementon Housing Authority. What a privilege it has been to serve you for years and years. Not just operating pantries at your respective locations, but getting to know those that you serve as well. And so save the date and visit our website, lovingourcities.org, for a list of all of our pantries and the other ways that we are seeking to enhance the quality of life where we live, where we work, where we serve, where we worship. Get in on it with us. Volunteer. You can also give, and also make sure you visit Food Bank of South Jersey's website. And lastly, why don't you come on and visit the Perfecting Church? We gather every Sunday, 9 and 11 a.m. And for those of you that can't be with us in person, you can watch online at 11 a.m. We'll be back tomorrow. Why don't you just close us out quickly in prayer, and then we're going to have the Band of Brothers close us out in song. And we wish you all the perfect Thanksgiving.
There's one passage in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, which is the inspiration for our prayers. We close out the perfect Thanksgiving, and it's Paul writing to the Thessalonian church, inspired by the Holy Spirit, and he gives them these instructions. In everything, give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. What a profound thought that Paul writes to this group of people, this local church, and tells them that in everything that they're in, doesn't say for everything, but in the midst of everything, give thanks. This is God's will in Christ concerning you. And as we close in prayer, many of us might be in some circumstances that we would not have authored or chosen for ourselves. Others may be in a situation where they really have much to be thankful about. But giving thanks is a due north for our souls. Yeah. It causes us to search for those things for which we can be grateful. And when we're in the midst of a time when over 5 million people have lost their lives to a global pandemic, just the fact that we have our physical bodies present here in the earth is something to be thankful for. But I suspect you'll be able to find more. And it's with that hope in mind that I want to close this portion out in prayer, and then we'll go to the band. So, Father, we thank you that we give you praise and thanks as we turn our hearts towards this Thanksgiving celebration this year. God, I pray that as families sit around at tables due to generosity like that of the Food Bank of South Jersey and due to willing partners like Loving Our Cities, I pray that many tables here across the 5 counties and beyond will find reason to give you thanks. Father, I pray also for those that are not in the most desirable of situations. God, I thank you that you're still present. And where you are, the potential for great change is there as well. So we pray for friends that have experienced difficult loss, friends that experienced shortage, and friends that will not be able to gather with anyone this year, may be alone. God, I pray that you make yourself known. And I pray that you give what only you can give, overwhelming joy. And God, I pray that those of us that have the ability to do so, much like we've seen with the example of Angela and Loving Our Cities and Fred and South Jersey Food Bank, that we will reach beyond our own last names and love others for your glory and their delight. In Jesus' name, amen.
when we're supposed to be line dancing. Yes, perfect Thanksgiving always ends with a line dance. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm looking for the script up there.
You thought I was reading. That's funny. Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties.